So I had made my own personal transformation when I was in college. I was never somebody who, I'm not blessed with the best genetics. I made my own transformation. I won a contest called the Body for Life Challenge. I was just talking to you about Bill Phillips and EAS. They had a huge global transformation, 12-week transformation contest, and I won that contest back in 2001.
So a transformation, just because clearly I haven't had one. So a transformation that's a body term. Is that a term on somebody going through some kind of bodybuilding?
Right.
Thing?
So it would be somebody who loses a bunch of weight. It's a 12-week challenge. And it's whatever, gain muscle, lose fat, all that type of stuff over that time period. Okay. So I won that contest. It was the biggest change from start to finish. And then that kind of got my foot in the door writing for their partner magazine. Then I had this idea to get a print book published. And I saw, the South Beaches and all that stuff out there. And I thought that was going to be my future, was going to be an author. And I would be churning out New York Times bestsellers left and right. And I'd be rolling in it, right?
Yeah.
And I remember, my original goal was like, if I could be an author and if I could make 20 grand a month, like I'm set, I'll be set. Because I was a high school teacher at the time. I finished college, and as I was getting this other stuff off the ground, I was teaching high school, health and physical education for 40 grand a year. So
for 40,000.
Yeah. So 40 grand a year. And if I could make 20 grand a month, like wow, like I'm way exceeded where I.
You're gonna be flying private,
right? So I had this print book and got a big book deal. I was 24, 25 years old. Got $100,000 advance, and the book did not do that well when it got published. We didn't get the media placements that we were counting on, and ultimately I just had to reflect on why it didn't work and not say, hey, we didn't catch the breaks we needed, the publisher didn't do enough, and I took the responsibility that I didn't do enough. I wasn't able to go out there and sell the books myself. So that's when I really just became obsessed with learning online marketing, because I knew some other guys who were writing for the trade magazines with me, friends of mine, who also had these like ebooks and DVDs and stuff that they were selling in health and fitness, and they were doing pretty well with it. Like one guy was like, it pays my mortgage every month, and then he has a personal training studio, was doing other stuff. But it was like supplemental income. But I was like, I don't want it just to be supplemental. I want it to be like my full-time thing.
So you were money driven somewhere in here, right? Because it sounds like, I've heard money a couple of times. Like you wanted it to be something. You didn't want to make. Want to make. So where did that come from?
I came from a humble background, a lower middle class home. My parents' home cost $125,000.
The home cost $125,000?
Yeah, that I grew up in. Yeah.
That ain't lower middle class, dude. You're rich. Where I came from, you're loaded, dude, at $125,000.
Yeah, well,
where'd you grow up?
South Jersey, outside of Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah, and so in the suburbs of Philly, it's a decent little community, and my parents, my dad was a school bus driver, and my mom was a administrative assistant, secretary.
So how did a bus driver afford a $125,000 house?
Oh, my mom made all the money.
Okay. What did she do?
She was an administrative assistant.
Okay.
Yeah, and so for a pharmaceutical doctor.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the mortgage. I don't know whatever the mortgage was on that, but $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Whatever, less than that probably. I eventually paid my parents' house off.
Oh wow!
The business, so I was see that full circle. But anyway, I came from close to nothing. I even had this kind of adversarial relationship with my father growing up. So I had a chip on my shoulder that I wanted to kind of prove him wrong, and that I was going to be something, do something. I didn't really know initially how I was going to do it. I just knew I had big dreams, right? And,
where do you think that came from? Any other brothers and sisters?
I have one brother who kind of went down the complete opposite path.
Yeah, so he wasn't driven, you were.
Right.
So it can't be the DNA thing, because your DNA is probably pretty similar.
Yeah.
Same family.
Yeah.
Why you, dude? Why are you like?
I just saw what's possible out there, and I don't know.
Where'd you see that?
I just saw other, maybe it's on TV, maybe it's celebrities or whatever, but there's people who have a lot more than I have. They're having different experiences that I would love to have, and I don't have the resources to make that happen for myself, but I wanted to. And it also came from a place of, wanting to help other people, because I've always been someone who's been extremely generous, going all the way back to when I was a teacher. I took, just was one quick example. We had 8 people in my physical education department, 8 other teachers. I was the youngest on the totem pole. It was Christmas season. I came in, I gave everybody a gift. Everyone was doing a little Secret Santa thing. And I gave everybody a gift. I said, I want to take you to a comedy show in Atlantic City and take you out to a nice dinner and everything like that. It's just on a $40,000 a year salary. And I was always doing stuff like that. When the bill came and I was out with a friend, I'd always pick up the tab, all that kind of stuff. And I just wanted to be able to do that more and on a bigger scale without having to worry about money. And that's one of the things about money is how I view money, and our good friend Beatrice Colleen views it the same way. It's a vehicle, right?
Yeah.
It's so what? If I have a bunch of money in the bank and I'm not using it for anything positive, who cares, right? Money can buy convenience, money can buy experiences, money can buy important memories, money can buy making life easier for your friends, your family, your loved ones. So I wanted to do that. And
because was mom and dad like he's a bus driver, so he's earning 20 or 30. I mean, my uncle was a bus driver. Now he was working on the side. He had a little gig on the side where he was burying money. And then my mom didn't work. My dad died, so like money was always an issue at my house.
Yeah.
Like everywhere I looked, it was an issue. Was it an issue in your home? Like were they talking about
just
it?
we never went on vacation. It was all the things that I wanted to do. It was always, we can't afford that. We can't afford that. We can't afford that. I want to get this new video game. Well, we can't afford that.
Right.
I want to, from simple stuff to like bigger stuff, like, Mom, how come we never go on vacation? Well, we just don't have the money for that.
Right.
So I said, for me, I don't want to be in a position as I grow up and I'm here, I realize I am in control of my future here. It's just my upbringing and, kind of have to deal with that. But now I'm becoming, I'm getting older, I'm going to college, I'm becoming a man. And I need to make my, I can create my own future and create my own destiny. And the things that I didn't have as a kid, I wanted to be able to do for my kids.
So whether it was health or wealth, you're like, hey, I want to be responsible. It sounds like you're having a transformation.
Yeah.
In the things that are closest to you.
Yeah. So to bring this back, I got into the book flopped, and then I became obsessed with online marketing, and I took responsibility for my book not doing well on myself. I didn't blame the publisher. I didn't blame the media. I didn't blame people who did the reviews. I just said, look, if I could sell a bunch of copies of this book myself, then I would have had this problem. So let me learn how to do that.
Yeah.
So then I got and I learned
this
a little bit
pre-social media.
Right. Facebook was maybe just starting.
Yeah. There's no Instagram.
Right. So I knew these other guys who were doing this kind of side projects, and I just became ruthlessly obsessed with it. And I networked my butt off. I became friends with all the top guys in the industry. So in my line of work at the time, this is a fitness ebook space, and there was a big publisher called ClickBank. And which now Russell Brunson's ClickFunnels is a competitor to them. But ClickBank, they do something like $1 billion in revenue a year. It's the largest digital marketplace in the world.
Wow.
So all the top health publishers were selling their ebooks through this, and they had rankings. They had the top 50 lists in each category. So I went in the health and fitness category, and every single person who was listed there, I just Sherlocked my way into getting on a phone call with them.
Yeah.
And then I provided value.
This guy, and he's doing it right now, right? So, like, I hope you guys are like taking notes right now. He's telling you exactly what you need to do, man. Make a list of the influencers.
Right.
People in power.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. And then I reached out to them, and it was all via email. So I was everything was done via email, how I communicated, built my own network. And then I knew that that's how people would sell their ebooks. They get the customer's information, and then you resell them over and over again through email marketing. That was the primary way that everyone was making money. And I just wanted to do it on the biggest scale possible. So when I got into the industry, like I learned sales copy from Yannick Silver and Frank Kern. I learned product launch formula with Jeff Walker, which I used as template for my first product launch. It was the biggest. I was an unknown player in this space on ClickBank. I came in with, put my whole game plan in, 6 months later, I launched my first product. I built my whole network in that 6 months. We launched, and I did the largest ebook launch of all time on ClickBank.
Wow.
Yeah, in a very short period. So then I was making 30, 40 grand a month. And then I was like, all right, well, next milestone is make 100 grand a month. And then now I've had, many months where we've cleared over $1 million. But it all started with, I guess, guys like you and I, we're all gas. Once we get involved with something, it's either all in or nothing.
Why, dude? Why? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like you've talked about, man, I was obsessed with it. I wanted to be the best in it. I wanted to be the biggest, the transformation. Like, what's driving Joel Marion in a space, by the way, that's kind of boring? Like, it's ebooks, man. What's an ebook?
Yeah. Well, we're also helping a lot of people through the information, and we see the transformations that are happening on the other side.
I know. I always hear the help thing, but what else is driving you, dude? Everybody wants to help people, right?
It's a combination of both. If I'm just helping people and it's not serving me in any way, then that's a dud, right? If I'm just serving me and I'm not serving other people, then that's a dud. It has to be symbiotic on both sides. You need to be impacting other people. But I was speaking at my friend Craig Valentine's event alongside Bezos Coin and Tim Grover, friends of ours. And one of the topics that I covered was this whole impact versus income debate, right? Some people say that, just go impact, go after the impact, the income will follow, and all this stuff. And that's not the way that it works. They both rely on each other.
That's right.
You have to generate income to be able to have any kind of substantial impact, because money is the driver is the vehicle for everything to make everything happen. At the same time, on the other side of that, if you're not having any impact on the other side, you can sell anybody anything once, right? But if it's not a good product, not a good service, you're not having an impact, they're not going to come back and rebuy from you. So I always say income first will allow you to have the impact, but the impact will bring more income.
Yeah. So should people figure that out, or I mean, like is there a formula for figuring? Is there here's the equation, impact? Because I hear a lot of guys saying, "Oh man, just give your content away." I'm like, dude, that's suicidal. Yeah. Like somebody else is taking care of your bills then. Yeah. If you're telling people.
Yeah. There's a lot of people out there. They have amazing products, but they don't know anything about marketing whatsoever, and they can't sell it.
That's right.
So the fact that you have this amazing product that could help a lot of people means nothing, because you're helping no one. Right. So you have to. Not only do you have to have the amazing product, but you have to have the amazing marketing, and they both work together. And again, if you have amazing marketing and a crap product, which a lot of people have that too, right?
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
I mean, the list is endless of terrible products.
In that sense, with Coca-Cola, that
Visa,
is our culture,
MasterCard.
right? But
I mean, I can give you a bunch of them.
Right. But let's just say somebody who legitimately.
Most sneakers are bad.
Let's just say in my line of work, right, or supplement industry. Okay,
Yeah.
I got into supplements. Very successful in that business. If somebody has a crap supplement that has just fairy dust ingredients in there, not efficacious amounts of any of the raw ingredients, they don't go through any testing, it's a bunch of junk in a bottle, right? But they have amazing marketing, they make you believe it's going to do all this great stuff. They can sell it to you once, but you don't take it
for a while.
You don't take it, you don't notice any results, and then people stop buying.
Yeah.
So again, you have to have both. It has to be amazing product.
Yeah.
And that you need to be proud of your products and what you're offering, what you're putting out there, and believe in them. But if that's all you got, if you don't have the sales and the marketing behind it, you're going to be like me with my first book. You're going to have this book that has amazing content that can help a lot of people and sells, close to no copies.
Yeah. Van Gogh had to do more than one piece, right? So Joel, like what do you do now? Like here we are in a time where people are saying, hey, email is dying.
Yeah.
Social media's, the new TV.
Yeah. So
how do you transition?
Here's the thing about email.
And you got a podcast. You got a podcast that's audio mostly, not video.
Right.
Like we were talking about that before. So he loves that. Where are we? What does a marketing person do? What does a solopreneur do? In your mind?
Honestly, I subscriber for subscriber, I will make more money than anybody in social media per subscriber via email.
So if I have 1 million people on Instagram and you have 1 million emails.
Yes. I mean, I'm making probably 20 times what you're making. Yeah. And for a number of reasons. When you understand the problem with email, people say email.
That's good. Hey, everybody rewind what he just said. That's big. Like if you're into money and helping people.
Right. So the problem with email these days is the fact that email started such a long time ago, and you think of the first email account that you had, and what that you probably dropped it a while ago because it just got too crowded with too much crap coming in there, right? All the stuff that you bought, you're getting newsletters from all these companies and stuff, and people's inbox gets overloaded, and then they either abandon the email account and set up a new one, or they stop paying attention to the email. Now the Gmails, the Yahoos, the AOLs, the MSNs out there, they understand that. So now they're making it harder for you to deliver email to the inbox.
Oh, wow.
So people have to be engaging at a very high level with your content in order for them to reward you with inbox placement. If they're not, then they start junk foldering and spam boxing. So I could have a list of 1 million people that I didn't take very good care of, that people aren't engaging with my content. I didn't provide a lot of value. And then also we do something where we call list hygiene, which is scrubbing inactive contacts. So if somebody hasn't opened an email from me, if we email every day and someone hasn't opened an email from me in 60 days or 90 days, we just call them a dead contact and we kind of wash them. Reason why is because...
So what do you do with that? You delete the file or...
You just create a segment in your email service provider that just says, I'm only sending to this people who have opened within this time frame. The other subscribers are still there, and you can try to reactivate them later, so you still have the data. But what that does is the person who hadn't opened an email in 60 days is close to worthless to you. Maybe most people are like, oh, well, if I keep emailing them, then they'll eventually open something, maybe they'll buy, But the problem with that is the more of those people you're emailing, the lower your open rates go, right? And then the Gmail says, this guy is sending to 1 million people, but only 50,000 people are opening the message. Yeah, that's a crap open rate.
I need to hire you. I have that problem.
Yeah, we're junking it. Well, this is the email marketing event that I did last where we had 80 entrepreneurs pay 25 grand. Russell Brunson was there, which I just blind copied a bunch of my friends and said, hey, I'm going to have this event at this hotel on this dates if you want to come with 25 grand. And 80 people sign up for that. But this is because the industry was struggling so much. These people had these big email lists, but they weren't, the open rates were just really, really falling off in the results and the marketing. So I call all these types of strategies. If you understand how to get email delivered, email is by far the best converting channel. One, you can send a much longer form copy. People will actually, when they're in their email, they'll take the time to read longer copy. On social, it's just like it's a visual thing, right? On Instagram, it's just like next. They're scrolling through the feed. Yeah. Very few people are stopping reading. And then if like using Instagram or something like that, and you have to rely on, hey, click the link in my bio or whatever. Yeah. It's too many steps for people to actually get to the point where you're selling them something, because you need to bring them off of Instagram, bring them to external website, all that. So in the email, people just read your copy in the email. They'll invest a lot more time reading. You have more real estate in email. People are more, when they're reading their email, they're in now with phones, it's a little different. About half the email traffic is mobile, but it's still not anything close to Facebook or where it's like 90%, But hey, you got half.
We should have this guy back on Power Players too. On Ask a Pro. Okay, this guy knows what he's talking about, dude. I bet a lot of people sit in those chairs. I know they leave, and I'm like, Johnny, I don't know, man. Maybe Power Players, maybe not. But like, I don't know if they know what they're doing, right? This dude knows what he's doing.
Oh, thank you.
No, I really appreciate you sharing your time. And now I got to figure out how to do something for you so I can get my emails working.
Yeah, well, you got half the people sitting in front of a desktop computer. They're taking, they're in the mode that you want them to be when they're buy. They're not distracted. They're not out with their kids on their phone, scrolling through Instagram while they're babysitting. You know what I mean? They're focused in a work environment. A lot of people, and it's prime time real estate. So click for click, if you see, we buy as a company, because we're a supplement company, but we're really a marketing company first and foremost. We buy a lot of email traffic where we'll do sponsored posts, sponsored email drops in other people's newsletters and stuff, which will pay for those placements. Those convert like 10, 20 times higher than our Facebook ads.
Oh, wow.
Do. Because people are in a primed environment to buy when they're in front of the computer and in front of email, and they'll invest more time. You can get a longer sales message out there. People click very easily on a hyperlink, goes to the web page, fill out their credit card information on a computer, much easier than trying to do it on a mobile device. So because most of the majority of the email traffic is desktop traffic, and people are just much more easily able to buy, it is by far the highest converting channel. Yeah, and then the other thing is with all the algorithm changes and all this crap with Instagram and all this, where you got 1 million followers and then only, I have posts. I have 1.2 million followers. I have posts where 150,000 people see it, right? Well, it's only like 10% of my followers are even seeing the message. When you have an email list, you own all that data. Mm-hmm. And as long as you're taking good care of it and you're inboxing, 100% of the people get delivered your message, not 10%. Right. It's not, we're going to show this to 10%. It's like, I could imagine if the Gmails, and maybe this is coming somewhere down the line.
Start charging you.
If Gmail said, what?
Throttle you to show emails.
We're going to, you're going to hit send on that email. We're going to send it to 10%.
Yeah, no, it's brutal. Yeah. I hate Facebook for that.
But the thing
I'm spending less money with Facebook because of that. Because they're like, hey, you have to spend it. I'm like, guys, the more people see my stuff, the more I'd want to spend more money with you.
Right.
I think they have it backwards.
Right. Yeah, and they do it because people are following so many people, and then everyone's posting something, and people's feeds get clogged up. It's the same way that the email company, the AOLs, the Gmails, and all that are regulating by saying, okay, anyone who has low engagement, we're getting them out of the people's inbox.
And what is that number? What's low engagement?
On an email list, we shoot for over 20% open rate. So if we're
is that copy? Is that subject line? Is it?
Well, it's a combination of all of that.
But I haven't read it yet, so it must be the subject line.
Well, it's subject line and also relationship. It's also the value that you provide. It's also, do they know who you are? If I got a list of 1 million people and I got a great subject line, but they never signed up to receive information from me, they're going to mark it as spam. Right. So do I have a good relationship with the list? Am I providing good value and good content in addition to selling them product and services? If I'm just pitching them every single day over and over and over and over again and providing no value, no content like this show, you provide so much value while you're also selling. And the two can be blended. You can provide value and sell at the same time. But if you have a good relationship with the email list, we want to see over 20% open rate. So I always want to maximize I want to get in front of as many people as possible without it being too many where it hurts my results, right? So I widen the segment. How many actives? 30-day actives, 60-day actives, 90-day openers. I'll go out to a year. If I had a great relationship with this stellar relationship with my list, what some people do who don't market at all, they just send like one email of content per week or something like that. And they have these extremely really, really loyal content followings.
Because they're not hitting it, because they're not
right. But that's
not really a strategy, though,
right? It's not making any money at the same time, right?
Yeah, there's no way.
Right.
You agree with that?
You could have a 70% open rate, and if no one's buying, who cares?
Yeah, right.
Sure.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can help people. But another thing, and this is something else that I want to talk to you about when we flip the script and have you on the podcast, is.
I don't know what I'm doing, so I don't know why you would have me on the podcast. I run around here all the time and say, dude, I have no idea what we're doing. Let's do some more of it.
No one does anything with free.
Yeah.
No one takes any kind of real action with free. When I was making $40,000 a year and I invested $1,000 to buy a copywriting course, that was a lot of money for me.
Yeah.
I invested $3,000 in hiring a coach. That was a lot of money for me.
Yeah.
And that made me take everything that I was doing even 10 times more serious, right? If it was just, being in the health fitness industry, I have friends of mine all the time, friends and family members, they'll ask, hey, can you put a diet program together for me? I'm like, I would do it if I thought you would follow it. Right. But the chances of you follow it are going to be slim to none.
Yeah, give me $5,000.
Right, yeah, if you want to pay, I'll give you a discount from what I charge other people, but I'm not serving you if I'm giving it to you for free.
So do you think friends and family should buy your services from you, or do you think you should give them to them?
It's a tough. Ideally, if they knew it was good for them, they would want to pay.
Exactly.
They would want to pay.
Yeah. I had a guy DM me this morning. My sister's she's like, hey, I said, hey, dude, have you been to my store lately? No, I said, you love me, you support me, good. Go in there and hit it.
Yeah.
because you've been to Bloomingdale's.
Right.
So hit Grant Cardone's store. Like you're my sister. I expect you to support me. I mean, and I think they're going to use it more.
Right. Absolutely. So just to close the loop on this email thing, right? If I can send to 6-month actives, 180-day actives, and still achieve a 20% open rate, then good. I'm going to mail all those contacts. It's wherever it falls below 20%, that's where I'm going to stop mailing.
So can I hit the list too much?
Well, I would say we're pretty aggressive in our
like what's
style.
aggressive?
We mail twice a day.
Yeah.
AM and PM.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Same guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we have different people in the company that the emails come from and stuff. Newsletter, but like one might come from the director of R&D or chief science officer. One might come from me as a co-founder. One might come from one of our nutrition coaches or whatever. But so we alternate. So there is variety there, but they're all coming from BioTrust. So AM and PM is what we found kind of be the sweet spot where it is. It's not. You're not leaving money on the table with AM and PM. It's not too little to where you're leaving money on the table, and it's not too much to where it becomes super annoying. Like obviously, I'm not going to send 10 emails a day to people. People will get annoyed and unsubscribe, right? But we found the AM and PM. If we're giving good content, good value, we've found that a morning email and a PM email.
So it's really data up front, something you need to know about, and then somewhere in there, hey, by the way, if you want to take advantage of.
Correct.
Or don't forget.
Yeah, some of them are straight. Some of them are straight pitches for new products or something like that.
Yeah.
But
because you're on the list,
right?
We wanted you to know about it first.
Right. VIP offers, sales. Supplements is a great business to be in because people reorder. Well, it's a consumable. Yeah. So people they use your protein powder. They're running out, and then they get a 20% off sale. For a holiday or something like that. And they're like, okay, I'm going to go back and stock up and buy 6 more tubs of this when they have the sale. So,
look, I don't want to give away all your secrets here. I mean, I could, and I know they would like it. I want you guys to follow Joel Marion on Instagram because he's starting to drop a lot of great content there. Yep. Right, every day I'm seeing what you're doing. You see me liking it?
Yeah, I see you.
Okay, so but the thing I got from Joel today was the way to connect. The way he started his first business is the way he's building his business today. Make a list of influencers, right? Like anybody that you want to help you with your business, and like how do you finagle your way in? How do you do that? Because that's a gift, dude.
Yeah. So I always preach lead with value, right? And what I did is when I contacted people, one, I was a published author in some magazines, so I had that kind of feather in my cap.
Does that matter today?
It does.
Okay.
It still does. Okay. Like you have print books that you're proud of that they have published, and you can say I'm a New York Times bestselling author, and you're proud of that, right? Yeah. But that's not where the money's coming from, obviously, right? But it's just one of those things. It's kind of an ego thing. So for me, all these guys in the ebook space, they never published anything traditionally. They were just making boatloads of money selling, PDFs that they made on their computer, right?
Yeah.
So for me, coming to them, I said, hey, I can interview you for this magazine. I'm on the training advisory board on Men's Fitness. I can get you featured there. So I started the relationship with that. I didn't say, hey, can you help me? Yeah. Can you help me? I want to get into your line of work. Can you, I'm coming out with this product. Will you promote my product? It was, hey, what can I do for you? And one of the guys that I networked myself was the top guy in the industry. I told him, I said, hey, let me send you a copy of my book. I want to help you get published in a couple of these magazines if you're interested, and he was. And I found out he lived 10 minutes from me. And we met up for a beer, and that was the start of a great friendship. He was the top guy, Mike Geary, in the industry at the time. And he had a book called Truth About Abs, which sold many millions of copies, downloadable copies.
I need to get that book. See, your space, dude, your space is so personal. Yeah. Like everybody.
I even offered to answer customer service tickets for him, just so I can kind of shadow and learn the business a little bit. So
did he like that? He had to appreciate that.
Yeah, and he took me up on it.
Yeah.
So by doing that, leading with value, I got to know Mike, and you know how it is with this, right? And I'm experiencing this again in this whole social networking area. Once you meet one, then they introduce you to somebody else. Then they introduce you to somebody else, and next thing you know, if you're a good dude and you provide value and someone has a good experience with you.
Let's say there's somebody watching right now, and they have, I don't know, they don't have a podcast. They got a podcast. They got 12 subscribers, a YouTube channel with 18, and an Instagram with 32 people. And they call me up or call you up and say, "Man, I want to interview you."
Yeah.
Now,
So
what do
for
you
me,
do? What do you do, and
yeah.
how do they make you feel like there's enough exchange for you to?
Well, that's the thing. You haven't built anything that's worth somebody giving their time to be on your show or anything like that. So that's not the way that you're going to create the relationship. That's not the way that I would tell you to create the relationships. Like, hey, will you be on my podcast? We just started it. You'll be episode number 1. Like, like you probably won't even be around in a month or two, right?
Yeah.
Because most people don't follow through with anything. So I always just tell people who I get asked for interviews all the time, as I'm sure you do, and 99% of them I decline and just say, I'm focusing on other projects right now, and my own podcast and running 3 businesses, and keep in touch.
Yeah.
But in that situation, again, I did it by answering customer service tickets for somebody. I had a guy just recently who is a dean at a college, and he emailed me, somehow found my email address, got my email address somewhere, direct messaged me on Instagram, like hit me up like 4 different ways, right? And he sent me a really nice personal email that basically said he's been listening to the podcast, he knows that there's this greater calling on his life, and he wants to make more of an impact. He's dean at this college, very successful individual, but it's not what he wants to be doing full time. So, and he offered to come work for me for free, just so I could be around you. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't take him up on that just yet, but we have been corresponding back and forth, and that
you're going to get a bunch of requests now. Yeah. I'll come work for you for free. I get them every day, because I'm like, yeah, you're going to come work for me for free, but you can't figure out your visa. He can though. This is a legit dude.
Yeah, I mean, he lives in South Carolina.
He wants to make the transformation in his life.
Right. Yeah. So an individual like that, you can obviously you can tell who's serious and who's not. Generally, I have a pretty good. My intuition is pretty good on that type of stuff. So, but this guy's a genuine guy, and he's somebody who, like, if he's persistent enough, I'll have lunch with him or something like that.
You'll figure out how to do something.
Yeah, right. And then next thing you know, he meets me, and then he's networking with a bunch of other people.
How important do you think it's been for the viewer to start investing money in their extracurricular learning, like whether it's email or social or marketing or networking?
Yeah, so I'm constantly investing, and I'm just invested in a mastermind group this year for $60,000. With my income, not that big of a deal, but there's people in that group where $60,000 was a tremendous amount for them. I remember when I first started, as I mentioned, they bought a $1,000 copywriting workshop.
$60,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care what kind of money you make. $60,000. $60,000 is a lot of money, right? Seems like a lot of money to make.
Yeah. Well,
how much money are you making, dude? How much money are you making that $60,000 is not a lot of money?
It probably not as much as you.
No, but like how much? I got to know now. Now you got. Yeah, I'm taking the bait, dude. I'm taking the bait. Is this some kind of bait email communication?
I do well.
Yeah,
I do well.
So what's the number?
Multiple 7 figures. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Net. So,
yeah. That's awesome.
It's a good business to be in.
Yeah.
But what were we talking about?
Well, no, we're talking about money, right? So, I like talking about money. I think most people just can't talk about it for some reason. Like if I talk about it, then that's my, like I get pinned into, you're just the money guy. And I'm like, I help a lot of people.
Yeah, so, I've done well. I've been in business for 10 years.
Yeah.
I told you I started, my first company was an e-publishing company, which I ran for a number of years. We built that up to doing $10 million a year. I had 1 part-time employee and myself. I was working from a beach most of the time. I had no kids at the time. Now I have 2 kids and 7 and 5 girls.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So all about it.
They're close to the same age. Seriously.
Yeah. So I was able to bank a lot of money, the house that I live in is the most expensive.
$125,000?
No.
And what's it worth?
The house the house
I'm
that I
getting good
live
data
in.
from Joel. Nobody gets this information from
The house
Joel.
that I live in, I bought from an ex-pitcher, Major League Baseball.
Okay.
And I bought for half of what he had into it.
And what'd you pay for it?
A little over 6.
$6 million.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And then I have a $4 million condo in downtown Miami here. I have a $4 million condo in downtown Miami here.
Okay, he's a baller.
And then I own
Who's the ball player?
Babe Ruth's old house in St. Petersburg.
Are you a big baseball player?
No.
Okay.
No, I just happen to. So I would just look. Ryan Howard, the first baseman for the Phillies.
I know that house, dude. I know that house.
Yeah, okay, that's
the
right
house
down. That's right down the street from me.
Okay.
No, my house is actually much nicer than that house.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a nice house you did.
Yeah, it's
That's
nice.
on
It's
Clearwater
plain
Beach.
Jane though. It just went on the market. We looked at it on the inside. It's very plain compared to mine.
Yeah.
Mine is like this guy.
Dude, he's getting all animated now, huh?
His wife.
Dude, he's getting social media right now. He just went Instagram on us right there. He just went from email to Instagram right there.
His wife probably had free reign. I mean, we got murals all over the ceilings and everything. It's just ridiculous in there. Yeah. In Ryan's house, it's just dry.
So when you cross the bridge there, you go left or right for your house?
You go right. Ryan's house is on the left. That's Gulf Boulevard, and you just go down side street, and that's Ryan. So I'm right there.
That's awesome, man. Beautiful beach there.
Yeah. So I'm able to have things like that because I put the work in, right? And I bought my father-in-law a condo, bought my mother-in-law a condo. Nice condos. My mother's condo was $400,000. It's on the water right by our house. She loves it, and my wife's excited that she's no longer living with us. So, but we're able to do stuff like that for family. And for me, I said
taking me to Heat's game tonight. That's nice.
I said like $60,000 is it's not a lot of money, right? Yeah. Like I view like the $400,000 because we paid cash for the condo for my mother-in-law. This was just 4 or 5 months ago. Like I don't view that as a lot of money. Like that was easy, liquid. Okay, yeah, we'll find a condo, $400,000.
But dude, there's people watching right now saying, "Wait a minute, dude, $400,000 liquid, that's not a lot of money." Like, is that mindset important? Do people need to start thinking about $400,000 differently or $60,000 differently in order to get where you are now?
Yeah, well, I guess it's all relative to your income, right? I mean, when I was just starting off and I made my first $1 million, I would have thought $400,000 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
But when you're making $10+ million a year net, like it's $400,000 it's not making a difference. Well, it's not. I mean, I'm just making a difference for my mother-in-law, but for me, it's not changing my life in any way.
Right. Yeah. And just having to sit there doesn't do anything for anybody.
Right, exactly.
So you're like, I want to use the money, right?
We invest, obviously, and we want to, have, generational wealth that gets passed down to my kids and all that type of stuff.
It's good. He's got me all primed for the podcast now, man. Shit, you're gonna kill me.
It's gonna be fun.
Okay, so look, where can people? You got any more of these masterminds coming up? Because maybe I'll join it.
I don't have one planned, but
maybe we'll figure out how to do that in the future. Okay, because so anyway, we'll figure out.
I'm certainly open to doing another one. Yeah.
Joel Marion on Instagram. Let's see the company. How else can people follow you? Right
BioTrust Nutrition is just www.biotrust.com. That's our nutrition company.
BioTrust.com. $500 million in sales. If you want to see what he's doing, get on his list. Maybe buy some of his protein. Do I need protein?
Yeah, I'll hook you up.
Yeah, hook me up. I need some more. Because my guy's saying, hey, dude, you just don't eat enough. He's like, you got the worst diet in the world, man. You don't eat enough. Is that a bad diet?
Well, what's the diet?
I mean, look, he's like, you don't have enough meals, dude. You don't eat enough meals. You're not taking in enough.
It's not necessarily a bad.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
That's really old bro science, honestly. The whole 6 meals a day and all that stuff. I mean, very, very popular way of eating now is intermittent fasting, where you just kind of have a large dinner and you eat your calories, most of your calories, in the late afternoon and the evening, and you skip breakfast and lunch.
Yeah.
For me, I actually follow that myself, being an entrepreneur, busy entrepreneur, because it's the easiest way for me to stay focused on tasks without having to be interrupted by meals all the time. For the bodybuilding lifestyle of eating 6 times a day, it's like I'm like every other hour I'm being interrupted to having to eat and I have to worry about that. So I don't have to worry about that. I can focus on what I need to during the day, and then boom, at nighttime I have.
Okay, we'll save that for another show. Then we'll figure out how to get me in the best shape of my life. Hey, thank you for watching Power Players. Joel Marion, look, get yourself in the condition. This guy didn't come from anything. He's had a couple of good breaks. Yeah. Right? He's learned, he took responsibility of his first campaign, made it go right, used that as an opportunity. And now, he's earning $10 million a year. Yeah, 400 grand's no money. 60,000 over here, just throw it around like a tip.
we're going to talk about luck when I interview you here in a minute.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of people, they see where you're at and they're like, oh man, it must be nice.
Yeah.
It's you know, how that you're lucky or fortunate. And you talk about how good fortune and luck follows people who work hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I fully believe 100% with you on that all the network that I built and all the opportunities that I got is because I earned it.
Yeah.
Did I catch some breaks along the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's because I was plowing away.
You caught the wave, baby. You caught the wave. You got a paddle to catch a wave. I know that much about surfing.
Yeah.
Can't tell them about my back right now because I haven't been surfing much, okay? All right, so hey, get yourself, you have a responsibility to get yourself in power so you can get on a show like this. But this is the best way to spread the message, folks, is to get on networks like this where a guy has following. Joel had something to share with you today. That's why I had him here. He's a real dude with real businesses, real results, and it's showing up in his life so he can help a lot of people. So I hope you enjoyed today. If you liked it, if you have a question for Joel, post it in comments below. I'm happy to get them to him. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah, and if you don't mind, if you know, we have a show, Grant's going to be on here, which we'll publish that episode next week, Born to Impact, and that's kind of the primary thing that we're doing to impact a lot of people.
Yeah, he's got a great podcast, by the way. I mean, it's an on-fire podcast, right?
Yeah, people are loving it.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for watching.